I'm Nick Snow, watching government for Oil and Gas Journal in Washington, D.C. So what exactly are best practices? Government policymakers freely use the term these days when they describe what's behind standards they're proposing. Environmental organizations consider them essential as oil and gas operators seek permission to develop more unconventional resources. What they have in mind, however, might not necessarily coincide with the realities of an industry with considerable experience already in developing actual best practices and standards. The American Petroleum Institute has been the leader since 1924 in developing voluntary oil and gas standards and practices, which promote reliability and safety through the use of proven engineering. Its program is accredited by the American National Standards Institute, the U.S. Standards Authority. It undergoes regular audits to ensure it meets ANSI's essential requirements of openness, balance, consensus, and due process. API's standards program has sought a balance from the outset, with each committee made up roughly one-third from oil and gas companies, one-third from service and supply companies, and one-third from government, consultants, and non-government organizations, according to David L. Miller, its director. The key is to bring lots of different people from different perspectives to develop these documents, he told OGJ on December 15th. ANSI's requirements provide assurance that if I, as a consulting engineer, come to the table and work hard, my voice will be heard. Miller said it can take up to 3 years for a new standard or recommended practice to be developed. If the industry says they're needed sooner, it can be 6 to 7 months, he added. That happened recently when exploration and production experts working on unconventional operations methane emissions said pneumatic controllers needed a closer look. API announced it would develop new standards covering the equipment and its operation on December 8th. Miller said something similar happened after the 2010 Macondo deepwater well accident and crude oil spill revealed offshore safety and environmental procedures shortcomings. An issue's urgency can help volunteers from the 7,000 people who work on API's 6,000 standards, in addition to their full-time jobs, set priorities. There are no shortcuts, Miller emphasized. Setting priorities lets them notify their employers that meetings will be held every 5 weeks. API re-evaluates each standard or recommended practice every 5 years. Public interest led it to take a new look at unconventional production practices well ahead of schedule, Miller said. A community engagement standard, which previously dealt almost exclusively with mineral rights, quickly broadened to meeting stakeholders' other concerns. This can be a starting point for government regulators, Miller said. They know it's an open, deliberate process with appropriate checks and balances that can be easily defended. That's Watching Government for this week. In Washington, I'm Nick Snow for Oil and Gas Journal.